Poetry. Who doesn't like poetry? I know I like my poetry served medium rare, a la carte, on the side of a Porsche luxury something. Anyway, poetry. It's the peak of sophistication and class. And you want to know something? I've been writing my own poetry as of lately, and if you don't mind, I would like to show you a poem I wrote. It's quite the epic ballad, actually. You got lies, deceit, Minecraft sex mods, and a certain little swan we all know. So please, just sit back, relax, maybe crack open that bottle of wine you've been saving for a special occasion, because today we are going to be living in the life of luxury, if but for just a moment. Time for an ode to John Swan. Roses are red, violets are blue. You fooled all your friends by a lie told by you. And what was this great lie that we were all told? There is no apology to Pie Man, and no autistic 12-year-old. You ran a gay op impersonating Dream just so you could troll a clout-chasing teen. And when confronted on your lies, there was no woe or regret. Well, maybe one thing, that mop on your head. But you lied to your friend without a second thought, all up until he told you about the screenshot. And then the story changed to, if you know it, you know it. There's no way to hurt me unless you can show it. Except his friend carries weight, and so does his word. One thread on Twitter was enough to roast this bird. Now it was bad. It was time for John to panic. John was now the joke, and he couldn't stand it. But he knew what to do, what would make this all stop, by dropping an apology. 7 pages shorter than his Google Doc. But that didn't work. People were still mad. It was time for Plan C, the last plan that he had. When push came to shove, he wanted to run, which is exactly what he did, leaving the internet in exile and shunned. Perhaps his most grievous lie, though, his greatest deception, was there was actually no Minecraft mod for you to have sex in. And thus ends the tale of John Swan, the rat and deceiver. May you all take this as a lesson, a cruel fact, my dear readers. Do not lie to your audience and do not sell out your friends, because in doing so, you may spell out your end. Now I hope you all enjoyed that poem as much as I did writing it. It's a real masterpiece after all, and you know what? It has a great message too, and that message is, if you get exposed for being a lying piece of shit who lies about as something as pointless as trolling on Discord, as something as serious as lying about an apology to a 15-year-old who you nearly bullied off the internet, and as slimy as telling these lies to the faces of the friends who trusted you and went to bat for you, the least you can do in this situation is stay and take your online beating, and to not throw your friends under the bus, and by not being a giant walking vagina who runs away at the first sign of trouble. The moral is, don't be John Swan.
I had a good take.
To posting a full-on apology to Pie Man. I talked to Pie Man today in private after a few days of reflection. We hashed things out, and although we don't agree on everything, what did he tell you?
Well, honestly, it wasn't really much of an apology. I more accepted it because, I sort of was over the drama at that point. He sort of doubled down on most things. He said he still thinks I suicide baited, and he never implied I was anything. The only thing he sort of apologized for is he said he was a bit too harsh on me.
Like, there's no way that you could possibly be not telling me the entire truth.
No, there's no way.
There's no way that you could have, it doesn't add up, dude. There's no way. Fuck, dude. I don't know. I just expect it to, at this point, I think I've interacted with you enough that, if this were to be the case, you would tell me. So it would be, really fucked if that's not the case. Absolutely totally fucked if it turned out to not be the way that I assumed.
Yeah.
There's no way that you and Cobra were just fucking around with Harley or whatever, and then you didn't expect Dream to respond, and you just said, you made up something on the spot or whatever, and then you just, you weren't expecting it to ever come back up again, and it came back up again, and it was just a big shit show, and you just tried to bury it, and then it got bigger, and then you just fucking made a document. There's no way that's what happened.
If you know the answer, then you know the answer.
So you did it!
That's what I'm gonna say. I
John, come on! I'm not
No, I'm not. I don't know. Who knows?
do you think I'm being irrational right now?
No, I don't think you are. I think you're justifiably concerned.
John,